back, sweet friends. You are watching the channel Frugal Money Saver. We are so happy you are with us today. My name is Emmy. My husband is Paul. We are an early retirement, debt and mortgage-free couple living in the state of New York. And our videos basically show you how to have a full, abundant life while spending less money. And today's video is no exception. We are in summer. It is warm here in New York and I don't have to layer clothing anymore, at least for a couple of months. So we're super excited about that. And with the change of seasons and a new month, we're in June now, we like to take a look back at the last month or so, see how we did. What do we want to change for this month? And basically go into reboot mode. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to reboot for the month of June and for the summertime. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Then we have been entertaining the last several days and we have some leftovers and we wanted to repurpose them. You know, we are big on zero food waste. So we're just going to take a couple of humble ingredients, truly, and turn them into some mouth-watering meals. And then at the end, we have a special treat for you. My brother who lives in Oklahoma and his 8 children and their spouses came for a visit. And I just have a little quick fun blip at the end of their frugal tips. They are young adults ranging from 25 to 40. So it's kind of neat to hear their perspective on what they do frugally in their lives. The cherry on the top of this video is yours truly making one of the most embarrassing bloopers, mistakes. I don't even know what you're going to call it. Stay till the end and you will see what I did, because honestly, I was mortified. I really was. And well, you'll see. Okay. So let's get right into our reboot for the summertime. What Paul and I will do at the beginning of June, we look back over April and May. And I encourage you to do this as well. When I say look back, we check our expense tracker and we see where our money went. We also look at our daily to-do calendar. What did we end up doing? We look at our refrigerator calendar that has our social engagements. What did we do? Or what do we want to do differently this month? And we totally reboot and recharge for the upcoming month and season. What are our financial goals for this upcoming month? Do we have anything special that we are saving for? Or is there something coming up that we need to be aware of? Things like that. We always check it out before time. But that's the type of things we want to look at. Then we say to each other, what do we want to spend time doing this month? And who do we want to spend time with? Sometimes we are so busy with life that we forget to carve time for ourselves. Very, very important. When you reboot your month at the beginning of the month, what do you want to spend your time doing? Are there certain people maybe you want to get together with over the summer? Are there certain things that you want to do over the summer that you can't do in the winter? I know here in New York, because our summers are so short and the winters are so long, that we cram a lot in, whether it's free outdoor concerts or a walk in the park, things that we can't do year round. Another thing we do at the beginning of the month is consider how much we can get rid of this month. What can we get rid of from our home? Either donate it, sell it, whatever it is. But at the beginning of the month, we start looking around and jotting down things. You know what? I really don't need that. Or I really don't want this anymore. It doesn't bring me joy the way it used to. Especially our wardrobe. That's a big one to tackle right now with the change of the seasons. Go through it. Look, are there shirts in there you didn't wear all winter? Get rid of them. Let someone else be able to enjoy them. You have to think of it that way. When you give away goods, you're blessing someone else. For a couple of dollars, they can go into a thrift store and pick up your beautiful blouse that you haven't worn in a year. So this is a great way to do that as well. Meal planning, reboot for the month. Even if you do 1 week, 2 weeks, whatever, if you can do the whole month, that would be great. Start looking at this month as ways that you can get those lost leaders in the house. You can get some extra items in the house for autumn, because it's going to be here, and I hate to say this, I do, very quickly. And we need to start stocking up now for the cold winter months. We have no idea, as I have said in previous videos, what's going to be short stocked, how much gasoline is going to be, how much home heating oil is going to be. So every day when you go forth to shop, to buy, to drive around, we need to keep these things in the back of our mind, just to be faithful stewards of our money for the upcoming months. And always, not just for the upcoming months, but year round. But you understand what I'm saying. We're not sure what the future is going to bring right now in the world of economics. So when you look at a brand new month, and I encourage you to do this every single month, look back on the previous month or two. What worked? What didn't? Where did you overspend? What social engagements did you have that you love, that you want to bring forward? What would you like to accomplish this month? Look at it as a blank canvas that you get to fill in, that you get to draw the picture. We have that power. Society does not have the power to tell you where to spend your money, or to do this now, or to do this later. Only you have that power. And please remember that going forward. Think of it as like rebooting your computer or rebooting your phone. All the new updates come in, and your phone and your computer run that much better and are that much smarter. And that's exactly what we do with the months ahead. Look at them, see what worked, see what didn't, and continue on implementing new strategies as well to save yourself some money. Just a little pep talk. It's a blank canvas. You fill it in. Now, let's get into the kitchen. We have one very unique idea we're sharing with you today as a leftover meal. Was it Paul approved?
It was Paul approved. Yeah, it was very good.
He loved it. I was a little worried. I think we both were. Turned out really good. So sit back, relax. Here are some zero waste food recipes to save you big bucks. Here we go. We have literally been entertaining for several days, and now it's time to do something with the leftovers so they don't go bad. We have leftover baked beans, and I wanted to do something unique. Make a meal out of the baked beans alone. I could have just taken these baked beans and put them in the freezer, no problem. But let's be creative. Let's make a full meal out of these beans. So we just weighed them, and this is just about 16 ounces. And a regular can of baked beans is about 15 ounces, so we're right on target there. As you can see, there is a piece of bacon in there. I season my baked beans with a little bit of molasses, a little bit of mustard, some brown sugar, just all kinds of wonderful, yummy spices. You can do them whatever way that you prefer. And then what I do is I always top my baked beans with about 2 strips of bacon. As you can see, that bacon is right here. What we're going to do now is make some baked bean burgers. Before you turn away, please be patient and give these a try. So simple, so delicious. 3 simple ingredients: 15-ounce can of baked beans, an egg, and a cup of breadcrumbs. Again, these are leftover, so I am going to pulse them all together with the bacon. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the leftover baked beans and bacon in my NutriBullet. You can use a food processor, a blender, whatever you have. And here we go. I would have liked this a little more chunky, but I think I over NutriBulleted it. It almost looks like bean dip, which would be another awesome idea, but this is going to be perfect. To our bean mixture, we're going to add 1 egg and a cup of panko breadcrumbs. You can use whatever type of breadcrumbs you want. And we're just going to mix this till it's incorporated. I know this doesn't look like much, but trust me, Now I'm going to take it and put it into the refrigerator for about 30 minutes to chill and let the breadcrumbs absorb the moisture from the beans. In this pan, I'm going to heat up about a tablespoon of olive oil, but you can use butter, you can use vegetable oil, whatever you prefer. Our oil is heated up, and now what I did was I just wet my hands slightly, and these burgers will not stick. You know, we think of all different kinds of bean burgers, but we never think of the humble baked bean. And I think these are going to be really good. And what a great way to use up what you have. That one's really big, the one I just put in, but that's okay. So I'm going to cook these about 4 minutes aside. I'm going to repeat myself in that you could have flavored these any way you want. But I had flavored them already, like I said, with traditional baked bean spices and sweeteners. So these are going to be perfect for us. But the real test is going to be when Paul tastes it. That's going to be the test. These have cooked 4 minutes on one side. And now we're just going to flip them. So no worries that these will not hold their shape, because as you can see, they are holding their shape beautifully. And now we're just going to let them cook for 4 minutes on this side. Is this like a great idea? And wait till you see how Paul is going to build his baked bean burger. I push mine down as I'm cooking. I just give them a little squish, only because I want to make sure that egg is thoroughly cooked in the middle. So these cooked another 4 minutes on the other side, and they are perfect. I just removed Paul's from the frying pan, and he is going to build a better bean burger.
Well, I jazzed this up a little bit myself. I used some cheese, melted cheese. I got pickles. I got red onion, some lettuce, a little ketchup. So this is going to be a delicious burger. I can't wait to try it.
Oh my goodness, that actually looks really good. Okay, now here's the truth. How's it going to taste?
Dixie Belle's waiting for something to fall on the floor for this taste test. You got to see her looking at me. Okay, here we go. It's delicious. It tastes like a baked bean barbecue burger. Definitely jazz it up like I did with pickles and onion and lettuce. And yeah, this is delicious. This is a great way, excellent way actually, to reuse or repurpose baked beans after a party. This is good. I can't wait to dig in.
We also have a couple of leftover hamburger and hot dog rolls. Yes, you can just take these and put them in a plastic bag and pop them in the freezer, and when you need them, you'll use them. But we are more likely to use them if we make some freezer garlic bread out of them. So that's exactly what we are going to do. If you've ever looked at a package of garlic bread frozen in the freezer section, it's pretty expensive. A bag of hamburger and hot dog rolls right now in our area when they go on sale are 99 cents a piece. So you may even want to pick up a bag at 99 cents and make these garlic rolls just to stick in the freezer. A lot cheaper than buying that pre-made frozen garlic bread. And we'll show you how easy it is. In this pot, I have 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You can use all butter, you can use all olive oil. We like the flavor of both. Now I'm going to eyeball this, but I'm going to add some garlic powder, and you do it to taste for your family. Some onion powder, and I always do onion and garlic on our garlic bread. And then just for a little kick, I'm going to add in everything but the bagel seasoning, because that just has so many different flavors in it. But you can use salt, pepper, whatever. You flavor it the way you want. So I put this on the stove and melted that butter down with all those delicious flavorings in it. And now I'm just going to brush each piece. And we want that flavor to just saturate that bread. And now the reason I don't use fresh garlic is because fresh garlic has a really low burning point. In other words, it becomes very bitter if you heat it too high, too long. So that's why I'm using dried. The 2 tablespoons butter and the 2 tablespoons olive oil was enough to do about 5 rolls. So that was perfect. And you adjust accordingly to how much butter or olive oil you want on them. But these look great. Now I'm going to take this tray just as it is and pop it right in the freezer for a couple of hours until these are frozen solid. I just took these out of the freezer and they are frozen solid, exactly what we want. Didn't take long, took about an hour. Now what I'm going to do is put them in Ziploc freezer bag, just like this. Now my freezer bags, I'm going to be honest with you, if they do not hold raw meat in them, I will take them and wash them out and reuse them. But I won't do that if they have raw meat in it. I don't feel comfortable with that. I'm trying to keep it as flat as possible so that they will store nicely and not take up a lot of room. Make sure you get as much air as you can out of here. There we go. Now I'm going to put these in the freezer. They are ready to go. There is no need to defrost them when you want to make them. All you need to do is take them, put them on a baking mat or a foil-lined tray, pop them in a 375 oven for about 5 to 8 minutes. But every oven is different and it depends how crisp you want them, but keep an eye on them while you're baking them. But there's no need to defrost them. They're going to go from the freezer to the tray to the oven. And they will be such a great accompaniment to soups, stews, pastas, whatever you may have, or a quick snack. So there you go, zero food waste garlic bread. The burgers were delicious. I honestly don't know how to describe them. Paul even said it. It tastes like a mix of a sloppy Joe, a hamburger, and baked beans.
It was very good. It tasted like a barbecue burger. It was good.
Definitely something to try if you have leftover beans. Really, really good. We froze the extra patties. We put wax paper between them and just froze them. And then when we want one, we'll take them out and heat them up in a little bit of oil. And it is a great light meal. Dress them up, put some onions, pickles like Paul did, mayo, mustard, anything you want. They were really good and a very, very inexpensive alternative to meat. And as far as the rolls turning into garlic bread, I know a lot of you probably do that, but if you don't, freeze them that way and then just pop them in the oven frozen just for a few minutes and you have delicious warm garlic bread. No waste, and you're not buying that expensive stuff in the freezer section of your store. Now we're going to get into the fun family part of our video. Like I said, my brother, his wife, 8 kids, and 3 spouses came down to spend the day with us. They live in Oklahoma. So they were making the rounds, visiting everyone. So we had everyone here and it was delightful. While we were all together, we were sitting in the living room and I said, let's just go around the room and give me your frugal tip. And they were great. Some of them tried and true favorites. Some of them I was like, wow, okay. My one niece, wait till you hear what she said she does. We had a great time and they were all for it. I was like, are you guys cool with this? And they were like, absolutely. But I made a huge, huge fumble, faux pas, embarrassment mistake in the middle of the video. Wait till you see what I did. I'm not kidding. So let's get right to this. I'm going to turn the camera around. There's Dixie resting. I have a room full of people. I'm going to show you here. That man in the corner, wave, my brother. That's my brother Angelo, his beautiful wife Laura. And these are his children. Oh, wait, that one's mine. And their spouses. And what I thought would be super fun is to go around the room and for them to give us their best frugal tip. All right, we're going to start right here.
I'm Sam, and I think a good tip is to just have a budget so that you know where your money's going and you can kind of get a picture of what you're spending it on.
Perfect. This is my sister-in-law.
I'm Laura, and my frugal tip is to wait till thrift stores have special days like dollar bag days or dollar an item days, and that's when we do our clothing shopping. So none of my clothes really cost over $1.
Laura, would you tell them how many children you raised?
We have 8 children.
8, guys, you heard right.
They're all in this room.
My tip is something that I got from my brother Sam. And years ago when I got an electric razor, I used to use the liquid and buy it for however much it was. He said, forget that, use cornstarch. So I put cornstarch on my face. It dries my whole face out, all the oil absorbs it all, and then I use my electric razor on it.
Oh.
It is the best tip I ever got.
I have never heard that. Very cool.
Well, hello, I'm Marietta, and I am pretty particular about when I eat out. And sometimes when people eat out, I will I'll eat with them, but I'll bring my own food so that I can be in community, but also save on eating out and making my own food.
That's mine.
My name is Cy, and my frugal tip is that I bring my own lunch to work. That's it.
It's good enough.
Very well, thanks.
Hey, I'm Vincent, and my tip is to live with your parents until they kick you out. I would say I like to garden, and that's a great way to save money, but also just to do something outside and get your exercise in.
I love it. Thank you.
I'm Victoria, and I would say one of my favorite tips is making your own coffee instead of buying it on the way to work every day.
That's a great one. A huge money saver. And she is my niece
Niece-in-law.
by marriage. There you go.
Hey, I'm Em as well.
Yay!
I think one of the things that has saved me a ton of money is instead of getting a audiobook subscription that costs so much a month, what I do is I have a free app that connects to my library, and I can download books for free. And then it will automatically, once they're done and need to be expired, they'll just send them back to the library, so there's no late fees.
Oh, that's perfect. Do you know the name of your app?
Yep, it's called Overdrive. It's free. You just go look it up on like a Google store, and then it will download, and just put in the card number
Oh, from the library.
local library, and you can just find it and connect, and you should be able to get books within 10 minutes.
Perfect. Thank you. This is my niece, Juliana, and her husband, Charles. Okay, you all, keep it real on this channel. I looked at him, and I was like, what is his name? Okay.
But you did just officially meet him today.
I did. This is the first time they did just get married. So in my defense, this is Charles and my niece Juliana.
So one of the things we do like to do is buy in bulk. So I will buy
that's a good
cheese. I will buy like 5 pounds at once, and then separate it into smaller 1 pound sizes and simply pull it out of the freezer as needed. And since I do a lot of meals, I do cook from home from scratch so that we don't eat out a lot. It really does come in handy. And then I'm not running to the store every 2 days to grab something. I just pull it out of the freezer and I'm good to go. So yeah, that's one of the things we do. And then for you,
For me, the frugal tip would be just utilizing YouTube for a lot of how-to videos. There's so many little things around the house, like hanging or mounting a TV to replacing a water heater, that you could easily follow how-to guides and watch YouTube videos online and figure out how to do it yourself, and save just a ton of money from calling a plumber or handyman to come in and do it for you.
Thank you, and I will never forget your name again. Okay.
I'm Tony, and my tip would be when cooking meals normally, just cook a little extra and keep that in the fridge, and then bring that to work with you the next day.
Perfect.
It saves a lot as far as that goes.
Absolutely.
I'm Angelo Jr., and I would say doing, with gas prices the way they are, it's not worth it just to wait till you need gas and stop and get it. Sorry, Charles. But if you do look ahead and see, okay, where are the cheapest gas stations, and when you're out and about, just go ahead, even if you're not on empty, go ahead and get gas then.
It's a great
It
tip.
really makes a big difference. 10 cents a gallon really adds up over time. Plan out where I'm going to get gas and save a lot that way.
Beautiful.
And I'm Sophia, and we just got married last November, and so one of the things I've been doing is with making meals, I've been trying to figure out how I can use everything that, like all the ingredients of the food that we got, so that we can use it in multiple times. And my favorite one I found is for broccoli, like a whole head of broccoli. I would always use the florets, but then I was like, what do I do with the stems? I just throw them away because I don't know how to use them. But I found a recipe where you slice it into discs and then you coat it in oil, and then you can season it however you want with salt and pepper and Parmesan cheese, and then you just bake that and you have broccoli Parmesan crisps, and they're delicious.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So I'm Laura, and I think mine is a little random, but I like to fix my own car. And like Charles said, I usually just get on YouTube and I beg my siblings and parents for tools for Christmas. And I think even just finding 1 or 2 repairs that you can learn yourself. A big one is the brakes. Everyone needs new brakes eventually, and you'll pay $500 to $700 to get your brakes fixed. But the parts will only cost you $100 to $200. So even just finding 1 or 2 basic repairs, your cabin filter, it takes like 2 seconds to replace and costs like $10, but they'll charge you $50 to $100. So even finding 2 or 3 basic maintenance things on your car can literally save you hundreds to thousands of dollars over the life of the car. So that's my favorite. Really messy, but otherwise it's great.
Was that not super fun? What about my niece who works on her own cars? I'm like, what? They are such an amazing group. They really are. Like I said, my brother Angelo, his wife Laura, 8 kids, 3 of them are married. They're just an absolute joy. So now you've gotten to see the 3 brothers and the nieces and nephews, so family's complete. Today's question of the day, as we head into summertime and the month of June, what is your reboot? What are you going to be doing differently this month? Or what are you going to be keeping the same? How are you going to make this month work for you? Please share that down below in our comments section. It encourages us and it encourages our viewers. What are you trying new this month? What are you looking to really accomplish in your frugal journey? In money saving, in food prep, in vacations, whatever it is, please share with us. It will help us so much. Thank you for spending this time with us. We appreciate you so much. If you haven't subscribed, please click that little button down below and become part of our frugal family. Give this a thumbs up. We would appreciate it so much. It just helps us get our videos out there in the YouTube community. And that means a lot to us, so thank you. We ask you to stay well. We ask you to stay safe. And above all, we wish you blessings. Until our next video, stay well.